Hey everybody, how's it going? Excuse me. I am in the living room because I needed to sit up for a little while, and I'm having a sleepless night because I'm about to have a long day. Because that just makes sense, right? I got a long day before I take my vacation, and I will be able to talk, but I won't be making any videos. So I'll respond, but I'm having 4 days and 3 nights off from reality, and I really need it. Okay, this video is way overdue, and I want to talk about why I'm redoing it. The last video I felt was good, but it could have been better. Plus, I've learned a little bit more since then. And this revelation was in January, I believe. It was in January or February. I believe January. Now, this video is going to be a lot of personal gnosis, unverifiable personal gnosis, UPG, along with my own intuition and my own interpretation. So, let us begin. This is the infamous Sigil of the Gateway. This is the cover art for the Necronomicon. If you type in Lovecraft images or Cthulhu pictures on Google, I guarantee within 10 minutes you're going to see at least one picture that has this symbol, because it's become so synonymous now. And I also want to state that depending on how you look at it, this sigil is fairly brand new, despite it the book being out since for 40 years now. 40-something years now. But I want to add to that, I want to say that sometimes accidents can create something good. Accidents can, create something that's monumental. The movie in the Alien franchise, Prometheus, is a very good example of this. And its less than spectacular sequel, Alien Covenant, where we see the actual first xenomorph that plagued Ellen Ripley all through that movie series. If you get what I'm saying. Now, this symbol, or sigil, whatever sign you want to call it, is comprised of 3 different signs. The pentacle, which is the aura, and then we have the aga, which is the one in the middle, and the one that looks like a pyramid, that's the bandar. Now, if you're familiar with various other what the hell was that? If you're familiar with various other magical and spiritual belief systems, you know the pentacle and the pentagram. I believe the pentagram is the one encased in the circle. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always get these two confused. And the ones that use it for Satanism and all that bullshit, that's just an inverted pentagram. Because no one has time to say inverted. But anyway, just a minor little rant there. The aura, or the pentacle. To quote from the book, of the 3 carved symbols, the first is the sign of our race from beyond the stars, and is called Aura in the tongue of the scribe who taught it to me, an emissary of the Elder Ones. In the tongue of the eldest city of Babylon, it was It is the sigil of the covenant of the elder gods. And when they see it, they know who gave it to us. They will not forget us. They have sworn. This is our symbol. This is humanity's symbol. Which, if you want to get some deep, esoteric stuff into it, you got fire, water, earth, air, or fire, water, earth, air. Some variations use void. So, I mean, that's personal preference, I guess. But I usually see the 5th point being void. Excuse me. But like I said, the pentacle is our symbol, and has been known to protect, especially in the pentagram. I've seen some where people have drawn a pentagram on the floor and stood in it when they have cast their magic. So, the next symbol, the one in the middle, is the Aga. To quote, the second is the elder sign, and is the key whereby the powers of the elder gods may be summoned. When used with the proper words and shapes, it has the name and is called Aga. To sum it up, the best analogy that I can is like a crucifix to a vampire or any other adversary to Yahweh in the cheesy Hollywood movies. You know, they see a crucifix and they cower with fear and all that. That is the best way to describe it, in my opinion. So any adversaries of the elder gods, which would be the ancient ones, they see the symbol and they're like, oh shit. They know what it is. They know what it represents. And what it can do. That is the best analogy that I could come up with. So, the next one is the Bandar. To quote, the third sign is the sigil of the Watchers. It is called Bandar. The Watcher is a race sent by the Elder Ones. It keeps vigil while one sleeps, provided the appropriate ritual band sacrifice has been performed. Else, if called, it will turn upon you. Now, to me, that's saying this symbol will be like that crucifix. It will be, there to send a message to anything that might come into the night and assail against you. Now, with that being said, once you do things properly, you're supposed to call the Watcher first before you start gatewalking. If done properly, he will be your guardian and protect you while you are gatewalking. If done wrong, he will turn against you. And once you have made this calling successfully with the Watcher, you are to offer a sacrifice to him to basically feed him. Now, if you let it go for more than a month or what have you, you have to do it all over again. You have to resummon him and all that. But basically, it is their symbol. And it has to be used with either all three of these, or all three of them have to be together, or let's see right here, what do I say? Of the three, the Aura and the Aga may be used separately, that is to say singly and alone. The Bandar, however, must never be used alone, but with one or both of the others, which I go by the Sigil of the Gateway. Since the Pentacle or Aura has protective qualities for our race of humans. And then we got the Aga, which is the sign of the Elder Gods, which is like a cross. And then you got another cross of the Watcher, of the Watchers, sorry. So, you have these. Now, if I remember correctly, because I don't have my copy of the Necronomicon with me, you're supposed to wear a black outfit with a vestment of white, which is to have all three symbols on it. And that is for the main rituals in the book. However, I have lately been using the black version of this one that I have for my ritual calling. This one is for outer wear, but I use the black one I have for rituals. And I've been doing that recently, and I've noticed a significant drop in outside interference. While this hung around my neck, now I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but I've noticed a significant amount of interference not coming around. I use this as pretty much my go-to protection. However, this is not 100% guaranteed. And through unverified personal gnosis, this is only used against spirits, demons, and anything else from the Necronomicon itself. It won't work on anything else. So if you use it against, say, I don't know, if you're one of those lucky people to come across a hellhound, it's not going to work. Or if you come across a street demon, basically a low-level demon, it's not going to do a damn thing unless it came from the Necronomicon itself in some way, shape, or form. Phantoms, ghosts, and all that stuff, no. I've had this symbol above my altar for a while, and it doesn't keep the shadow creatures that I attract at bay at all. I actually tried using this as a protective symbol against an area that was known to have hellhounds. It is in my late night rant and ramble. No, it was in my late night occult video when I go to Step Cemetery here in Indiana. So it's a little graveyard hidden in a national park that is notorious for having hellhounds for some reason, because supposedly there was a witch coven there and all that. It's supposedly a haunted graveyard, but just look up Step Cemetery and you'll find it. Actually, I think I talked about that in my Haunted Indiana series, so you might want to check there too. Like, my late night rant and rambles where I went, like I've actually filmed on location. But anyway, how did this pop into my head? Well, like I said, this was in January, and I've been following this path since 2010, and I've been dedicated since 2011. I've always just had this inclination just to call it the Elder Sign. And this was before I got into Lovecraft. Like, right before I got into Lovecraft, I've always just called it the Elder Sign. I've never heard of it before, or anything like that. And if you do look up into the Elder Sign in the Lovecraft mythos, one looks like a tree branch, and the other one is a pentacle with an eyeball, a flame in the middle. But technically, by my standards and my reasoning, that this is the third symbol. Fourth, if you count the Aga as a separate entity. I'm sitting there at my friend's work because it was a Sunday, and you know, before they moved, you know, you could have guests on the weekend since it was pretty much empty in the building. I'm sitting there, he's doing his thing. This just comes out of nowhere. It just pops into my head. I'm like, I think I get it now. It's a variation of the Elder Sign because all three symbols together are all representation of protection. And I texted my girlfriend immediately. And she confirmed. She said, yes, you're catching on. She actually did a "so proud of you" moment. And I'm like, yay! I've had my first revelation. So, hopefully this made sense. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. Like I said, this is all UPG, unverified personal gnosis. I'm not saying go out and rustle you up a spirit or entity from the Necronomicon to test it out. I'm not saying that at all, and I don't recommend that at all. But I will say that give it a try if the opportunity presents itself. Now, that being said, I will again state that this is not 100% effective. Just like condoms are not 100% effective. If a demon or spirit wants something bad enough, it will do everything in its power to get it. Now, I know that may sound blasphemous to a lot of you who deal with entities of that nature, but it's true. And even in the Necronomicon itself, it states that there are no effective banishings. So, keep that in mind. Always have a backup plan, which I kind of don't, to be quite honest. I do have a guardian, but I have him. But outside of him and the elder sign here, I don't have anything else. But like I said, something to consider. I hope you found this video informative. Let me know what you think. And I wish my YouTube didn't delete the video that I had of this, because I didn't delete it. But that's okay. The correct information on when this revelation happened will be in the description. That being said, please click that little bell, read the description, questions, comments, concerns, and thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Subscribe if you haven't, become part of Team Awesome, and I will catch you all later. Bye.